Hey guys, welcome to LoWdown. No, not that crappy movie that's been released, but we are in fact here with your wrestling talk show for the week. Of course, this isn't the only one you're going to view, but it's got to be the damn best one, so we're going to make sure of that tonight. Tonight with me, we have Paul and we have Krista. Hopefully everyone's going to join in as well. And when they do, we'll obviously make sure to get everyone's opinions on everything. But until then, guys, how did you find Hell in a Cell?
Ladies first.
I will admit I didn't watch it because my grandmother is quite ill. So I
Completely
spent
valid reason.
the evening looking after her.
Okay,
I did see the results though.
fair enough. Paul, what about you then? How did you find it?
It was a better than average show, I'd say. I liked the in-ring for the most part. The fact that they gave some of the young guys a shot at headlining it, I thought was pretty cool. Even if we didn't get the finish some people wanted, we get the finish that we deserved, basically.
Batman.
Yeah, you like that? And for a pay-per-view that didn't have a world title match, I think it came off pretty good. So, yeah, it was a slightly better than average show.
Do you know what's amazing? I didn't even care that they didn't have a world title match.
Same here.
It didn't bother me in one slight. It was interesting. And to be honest with you, the only matches I didn't really care for were both the Bellas matches and the Divas matches. Everything else kind of kept my attention.
But they released short enough where they weren't offensive. They didn't overstay their welcome. So
That's very true. Oh, well, here he is. Mr. Lamb. The Laminator. He will polish you up, pin you down, and glue you in one piece to keep you pristine. The Laminator. Hello. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
now that's an intro right there.
Yeah, it would have been better if I'd not cut that one off the top of my head. Never mind. Chris, how did you find Hell in a Cell?
Good, but I was disappointed with the ending.
Oh, god damn.
There's
I
always one.
I will explain why later.
Of course you will. To be honest with you guys, I thought Hell in a Cell was probably been this year's best pay-per-view other than Mania. And I know this might be a disputable topic. Very good.
Of course it was because I didn't see it.
The only exception to that I'd say is possibly SummerSlam, purely because no one expected Cena to get manhandled like that, so that came as a nice surprise. Yeah,
I had SummerSlam much higher than this.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd put SummerSlam higher than this, but behind Mania and SummerSlam, I'd say that's it. Like nothing else has really beat Hell in a Cell. I'd say it's probably the third best so far.
Yeah, it's a top 5 easily.
Although Elimination Chamber did have Wyatt's Shield, so that's awkward.
Yeah, I always forget about that. One good match though on a pay-per-view doesn't save a pay-per-view.
Oh, in that case, Hell in a Cell was shit.
Wow, that's very clashing opinions, but okay. I'll be honest. Like I said, I actually really enjoyed the pay-per-view. It could be much worse. The 2 out of 3 falls was a nice beginning. Obviously, the Hell in a Cell matches were actually really good. Cena Orton wasn't as boring as I expected it to be.
I enjoyed.
It was shocking.
I was going to say I enjoyed the pay-per-views, but I didn't like the results.
You're not meant to. This is how they tag you along to make sure that you watch and get the results that you'd like. However, that brings me to the point that Rensis made, who hopefully will join us later. He made a point of saying pay-per-views aren't for messing around with storylines. So what do you guys think? Do you think a pay-per-view should be definitive every time? Or do you think that Hell in a Cell was a good show where we just kind of paid attention to it?
It was a good show where Cena shouldn't have won.
Well done for being the mark on the internet, sir.
But I'm not being a mark in the sense that John Cena's bad. John Cena's good at what he does. His match at Hell in a Cell proves that. But I'm just not interested in seeing Lesnar versus Cena 3 times. When it should,
Okay. I still put it to you that we're not going to get Lesnar Cena, but I'll bring that up in a bit. Krista, what do you think? I mean, do you think pay-per-view should be definitive? Or?
Say that again, because you cut out.
Do you think pay-per-views should be definitive in that they should have clean endings to every feud and things like that, or do you believe they can be used to edge you to watch Raw the next night?
I think both. Depending on, there's a wobbly answer, right? I don't necessarily think that a pay-per-view needs to be at a definitive end for a feud, especially considering if, a feud could carry over several pay-per-views. But it would definitely give people an incentive to watch Raw the next night to say, this is how the pay-per-view ended, what's going to happen on Raw. If there's not a definitive ending, like we saw with Dean Ambrose, I saw the results, just because I didn't see the pay-per-view, I saw the results, to see Bray Wyatt interfere with the match and giving Rollins the win. It doesn't, definitively end the Rollins-Ambrose feud, which is good news for fans, because that's a feud they can go back to down the road, and people will still be happy. People will still want to tune into the PPV because those two put on a great match. And at the same time, they teased the start of a feud between Ambrose and Wyatt, which I think is going to be absolutely insane. So a pay-per-view essentially could be just about anything that they need it to be. It could be the end of a feud. It could start a feud. It could tease into something that happens on Raw, just to keep, the people coming back, to keep that casual fan who said, hey, I've spent $19.99, or not $19.99, $9.99 on the network. I saw the pay-per-view. I'm going to turn into Raw and see what happens. They may not watch Raw on a regular basis, but now they do.
Fair enough. So use the pay-per-view, gain views, but also at the same time develop and finish stories on the pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that. I think it can be used both ways. Paul, you sounded like you were going to say something before I asked Krista.
It used to be where TV would set up pay-per-view. Now it's the other way around. The pay-per-view sets up TV for the next night.
Do you think that's maybe due to the rating system, or do you just think that that's the way
it's the network era? So I mean, they're not getting their big money off of pay-per-views anymore. So
they gotta get the advertisers.
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what I've noticed since they've gone to the network.
Networks have caused a bit of problem, I'm finding. A lot of people as well. I know Love Lost Gunfire, who I do our predictions with, had issues that because of the network in Canada, where she would usually see the show, she was unable to because the cinema that she views it in were refusing to due to the network.
Yep.
So because there's legal contracts there, you can now not see pay-per-views and social events.
No,
I personally think that's a bad thing.
You'd actually have to buy them.
Yeah.
Cable network.
Wow.
Because I used to go and watch it in the bar.
Yeah. It's unusual, actually. Tell you what, then, we've obviously discussed a little bit about Hell in a Cell. Was there any matches that really stood out for you other than Ambrose versus Rollins?
See, I had little nitpicks with most every match on the show. I mean, there was like no match of the year candidates, not even close, but they were all okay. I mean, it was the overarching thing to me was that Hell in a Cell was where finishing moves went to die. I mean, there was more kickouts from finishers than an ROH show. I mean, that's what I thought I was watching. So yeah, that was. But
Cena versus Orton.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what we've become used to though with Cena, where now the AA is just a transition move at this point. I mean, and when there's a big match, he has to do 5 or 6 of them. So.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was actually impressed with Cena Orton, and I loved the fact that he reversed an AA into an RKO, because it's something that he don't. I've always wondered why the hell don't you just do that?
I'll say the RKO out of nowhere when Cena was doing the shoulder runs was fantastic.
I think
Like, Randy Orton really quick for that.
Yeah, he's really turning into DDP with how he's doing the RKO's out of nowhere.
I liked what I was impressed with was I thought it was going to feel like there was only one Hell in a Cell match. Like there was going to be one Hell in a Cell match where they stayed in the ring, they didn't really do anything else. And there was going to be one which is going to be Ambrose Rollins that was going to use the cell more. I was actually impressed and relatively happy with how Cena Orton used the cell and made it feel like it was a Hell in a Cell match rather than made it feel like it was just another match inside the cell.
See, to me, it felt like they just had like a no holds barred match, and the cell was there.
Yeah, but what I mean is at least they used a no holds barred element rather than just having a standard match like some people have in the past.
Right. I mean, I guess I just have this grander notion of what Hell in a Cell should be. You know, this should be the ultimate feud ender, not just a spot on their calendar, on their yearly calendar, where they have to shoehorn, whatever feud or whatever match into this pay-per-view.
That's a feeling actually, Paul, that I get with a lot of the pay-per-views now. That even some of the ones that were one of the big pay-per-views of the year doesn't feel like such a big pay-per-view anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Paul just said, Hell in a Cell for me is the end of a feud. That should be the last resort that both wrestlers go to get the feud over. Following that, though, like you said, Krista, about the big pay-per-views, I kind of feel like Hell in a Cell is slowly transitioning to be a bigger pay-per-view in the year. Because if you look at the current shows out of the big four, the only good ones now really are WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Royal Rumble has the occasional good match.
Well, the Rumble's
I mean,
always
there's
going to
two
be the Rumble. And I really think that Money in the Bank has kind of elbowed its way into like a top 4 pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'd say Elimination Chamber is now out. I'd say
Get rid of that, to be honest, and just make an Elimination Chamber match at one of the other pay-per-views.
Well, what's now happening?
One of the
the chamber the chamber doesn't need to be right after the Rumble and before Mania now that there's only one title. But because they're so inflexible about what they want to do, I mean that's one of the pay-per-views that would really benefit from moving to like July or June or something like that.
Well,
put that in the middle of the year and it'd be huge.
That's what they're looking at doing now, is moving that and replacing it with something called Fast Lane or Fast Track. But to me, all you have to do with Elimination Chamber to make it interesting is have one for the Intercontinental Championship or the US Championship. Then you make that title mean something again.
Yeah.
They've had a month to do that, and they haven't done that. So
No,
I don't see that changing.
Because they're idiots.
Oh, absolutely.
Full honest answer. I believe they're going to use Elimination Chamber to set up what's going to be the main event and challenger for the title at SummerSlam matches.
Yeah, that's generally.
Well, that being said, because we brought up the IC title, I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but I get the impression that Ziggler's just kind of keeping the belt warm until Bad News Barrett comes back to take it.
That's 100%.
Of course, it would happen.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, he's a good like transitional champion where wins and losses don't affect him.
Yeah.
I feel
Everybody, the people that like Ziggler will always like Ziggler, and the people that don't like Ziggler will never like Ziggler.
I feel like I'd be more interested to see Cesaro hold the title, because when Barrett comes back, I want to see Cesaro versus Barrett, not Ziggler versus Barrett.
And I agree with you there too. I think they'd make it an interesting matchup, and I mean, I wouldn't even mind if Cesaro wins it and then Bad News Barrett comes back and says, if you think you're going to hang on to that IC title, I've got some bad news. I think that'd be awesome.
For me personally, I think if they're going to go about it, I think if Sheamus is still holding the US title and Cesaro has the IC title, I have in my head, I would have them do like the best 2 of 3 matches, like they did at WrestleMania 16, where they had Angle Jericho, and Benoit all do the one match, and the first pinfall was for the European, and the second one was for the IC title. So if they did that, and they decided to merge both titles, like people are so suggesting they do, I'm okay with that. I mean, that would be one hell of a problem.
I'm not okay with that, because then you have two titles on a card, which kind of becomes retarded as shit.
Well, I think that Rusev needs to get that U.S. title here and pretty quickly.
That would be nice as well.
Yeah, he's the one guy that can take that title and really do something with it, because you will just hate that man so much, then that title is going to mean something to whoever beats him for it.
Honestly, I believe if he takes the title, they're going to let him trash it.
Yeah. And that's fine. Make it the Russian heavyweight title. Do something with it, but it's going to mean something.
And then have someone challenge him to make it back to the U.S. title, which would give focus on the U.S. title, because right now it's a consolation prize.
Oh yeah, you blow that off at WrestleMania, and that's huge. Yeah. That's a huge WrestleMania match right there for Rusev.
And you get and I'm sorry to the UK boys, but the U.S. title, I could see like an American wrestler, like even Jack Swagger, coming back and saying, enough's enough.
Oh yeah, you keep him off TV long enough, we're gonna forget about him. So.
Yeah.
I say give Rusev the US title and have him feud with Ryback.
That'd be good too.
I would honestly be okay with Ryback being the guy that gives him his first loss to really solidify that return for him, and that he is back and as a main eventer.
Yeah,
after watching Raw, I think it became very clear that they're going to push him very quick again.
Oh yeah, all the Ryback stuff has been erased, forgotten. It was Men in Black, where they just did that little thing, and we all looked at the red dot, and boom, it's gone.
Well, to me, if when we get onto this later, you'll find that I'm a vignette guy, and I'd have actually liked them to have done a vignette for Ryback coming back at least once. But hey, I'm not complaining. The guy's back. He looked pretty damn good. Same moveset as always, but he got the pops, which is important.
Yeah, it was a good surprise return.
I mean, do you know what I like the idea of a vignette as well, Chris, until I saw, how WWE like to push these, the really big backstage segments now, especially on the app and YouTube and things like that. When they're doing that, I kind of tune in sometimes, and luckily I tuned in and I saw Ryback do an interview with Eden, and he actually cut a promo that was very natural for him. It seemed real. What he was saying seemed more like Ryan Reeves talking. But I kind of preferred that Ryback. So if they show things like that with him, I'm cool with that as well. But as for a first match back, I actually kind of liked seeing Ryback. It was quite refreshing.
Yeah, it was, and I think it's good to see him in singles competition instead of tag competition now.
Yeah, agreed. Big hater Rantus, thank you for joining us, man.
Yep, I'm here.
Are you there, or are you just there?
Got
So,
technical issues, which I'm going to have to tackle.
No problem. Seeing as you're here, what's your thoughts on Hell in a Cell?
I liked it. It's good. Good pay-per-view overall. Could have done without the conclusion to Ambrose and Rollins. I get what they were trying to do. I really do. I get it. It was provocative. It was it was trying to tell a story, a sort of an epic story. I get it. I just like pay-per-view matches to end pretty clean.
Yeah, fair enough. That we were just saying that as well. Sometimes it's good when a pay-per-view ends clean. Other times it's nice when it draws it out. But for the use of TV, sometimes it can be quite tedious.
Yeah, you really got to take it in a case-by-case basis. And with this, it sets up that new feud, and it also always leaves the door open to return to Ambrose Rollins, which is the way it should be for those two. So in that case, I was okay with it. I mean, yeah, I always like to have clean finishes, but, case-by-case basis.
I'm gonna go Paul on you here. You remember well, you don't. And I barely remember it. So the conclusion of I believe it was Flair Steamboat was really overshadowed by the return to the territory of Terry Funk. They concluded their business in the ring. Funk goes to interview Flair, and it completely overshadows the match. People forgot who won, who lost. The matches weren't relevant anymore. And I think they could have done something very similar to that with this situation. I think Dean and Seth and Bray are all creative enough that they could have had a clean finish and still had this sort of an epic turn to Dean versus Bray Wyatt. So that's my 2 cents.
To me, I think the reason they didn't do a clean finish. To me, I think the reason they didn't do a clean finish was because obviously they want Ambrose to be the one that comes out on top in the feud, but they didn't want it just yet, so they're probably gonna pick it up eventually. They'll re-pick up this feud again, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see Ambrose Rollins at WrestleMania as the final match. Not the final match in their feud, sorry.
I was going to say, I could understand it being third last from the card or something. Because, people see it as a high match, people see it as a good match, they see it as, being something interesting that people want to see. Which is why I was kind of unhappy with the ending. I can understand why they did it, but I was also unhappy with how they did it.
Okay, well, I guess we're speaking a bit about this ending. So, Krista, I apologize. I know you haven't seen the full thing yet, but you've read the spoilers.
Yeah.
Chris, let's hear what you didn't like about this, because I know you were pretty passionate about this.
Well, to me, Wyatt is a guy who benefits 186% from vignettes over anything else. The video packages they always do for Wyatt they are phenomenal. If you really wanted to get someone like my attention, when it went down, to me they should have had a video package playing of something like, I don't know, like music. How you get the little music boxes that play music when you open them? I'd have had something like that play, and I'd have had a girl on a swing or something talking about how he's coming back and he's been chosen. The spirits will guide him. I'd also have a slightly possessed / demonic voice talking after each sentence, saying we'll show him the way, sort of stuff. And then after she's done saying he's coming back, you have someone behind her shout Abigail, and she gets up, goes off the swing, and you should see her go. I'd have had it go around to where the vignette's always cut off in that room with the rocking chair, and I'd have had her walk off into the light. It cuts to black, and then you hear Bray Wyatt doing the chanting thing.
Okay. My only argument with that is the idea that Abigail is a little girl. If the Wyatts are praising a little girl, it's kind of weird in the first place. The idea that she could have been the inspiration behind Bray Wyatt.
Well, to me, the idea of that was her walking into the light and the slightly possessed demonic voice.
So that but more an apparition that she died in infancy.
That's a little bit too dark for what they're doing nowadays.
But yeah, for storyline wise, you go talk to the social.
Yeah, and if you put a little girl there with Bray Wyatt, people are automatically going to start calling him a pedophile. So
Well, yeah, and they already did the little, but the idea has merit.
Yeah, you might as well just have him come down the ring in a van with blacked out windows.
Although on a side note, the minute he said, you have that kind of deep demonic voice, for some reason, the lead singer to Metallica came to mind to do that part.
Wait, so you guys,
sorry, James.
So you guys didn't like Bray Wyatt there going, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope? You guys didn't care for that?
I loved the apparition thing. To me, again, if they'd done what I'd said, the girl could have been the apparition,
Yeah.
which would have freaked the shit out of everybody in the audience, let's be 100% honest. But I just wasn't impressed with how he just kind of popped out from under the ring and steamrolled, and then it was like, oh no, Wyatt's back, and I'm like, well, okay.
Okay, so let me ask then. You saw that, and you went, oh no, Wyatt's back. Okay, I'm not too sure about that. Say you were around in the Attitude Era and you'd been watching Shawn versus Taker. Would you have thought the same when Kane walked to the ring? Would you have thought, who's this big red retard walking with Paul Bearer? Or would you have thought,
not considering some huge ass pyro went off beforehand.
Well, I was watching in that era, and I can tell you that I was not disappointed. It was awesome. It was an absolute perfect introduction of the Kane character. So it's one of the best debuts ever. And,
yeah, but it was a debut, whereas Wyatt has
It's a rebirth for him.
Come back, so it's kind of a lackluster re-debut.
To me, that whole match just reeked of, okay, this part worked from the Attitude Era, this part worked from the Attitude Era, this part worked too. So we're going to throw it all into a big hat and try and push it all into one match. And that was my problem with the entire match as a whole.
Yeah.
the whole thing was a throwback, even to the Ambrose going up on top.
Oh yeah,
at the very beginning. That was
it was a greatest hits, and that's what bothered me.
It's a way for Wyatt to get his PPV paycheck.
I have to admit, there was one thing that did bother me about all of that. When did the bell ring to start the goddamn match? Because I don't remember hearing it.
It was the minute that Ambrose...
Once they finally got in the cell. After they both went through the tables.
I should mention I was playing solitaire.
What were you saying?
I was going to say I should mention I was playing solitaire while the pay-per-view was happening, so I wasn't paying 100% attention.
Wow, do you know what? This is really weird. This was like the first pay-per-view that I actually really enjoyed, like in a long time. I was kind of there watching it.
Same. I'm playing solitaire more often. I'm not even joking. I had solitaire on my screen, on like a tiny portion of my screen, and the majority of my screen next to it was the pay-per-view.
Okay, well I've received a question from one of our followers. Your Future Shock says, I've got a question for LoWdown. With Mark Henry's heel turn, will Big Show feud with him now, or will Big Show carry on with Rusev?
Henry.
Rensis, what do you think?
I must have missed that. Was that on Raw where he did the full heel turn?
Well, it was Raw. Rensis, your microphone unfortunately seems to be tech issues. Like you lag quite considerably.
Yeah, your dial-up is terrible today, sir.
It's your phone, babe.
It is. I actually am on a cell phone because my Wi-Fi is out.
We can't hear you at the minute, Ransom. Oh wow. But yeah, we're struggling to hear you at the minute. So let me just move on swiftly then. Krista, what do you think? I mean, I don't know if you've seen Raw yet, but obviously it was implied that Mark. Okay, well, it was implied heavily that Mark Henry's going to have the heel turn, shall we say?
I hope so.
But do you think Big Show and Henry will feud, or do you think that Rusev will continue feuding with Big Show?
Well, I get the impression that the Rusev's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle. I'm glad that Henry's going for the heel turn. He makes a better heel than a face, anyway.
That's what he does.
It's what he does. I think that it could be a two-pronged thing. That Show's going to continue on, with the feud with Rusev, and Henry's just going to come in and try to mess up his stuff. Kind of cost him matches, interfere, so that when they finally wrap up the feud with Rusev and Show, they can immediately go to the feud with Show and Henry, and it's been bubbling under the surface. I like slow burn feuds myself to an extent. I mean, they could go either way with it. They could. It would be unfortunate if they don't wrap up the feud with Rusev, because then it basically just sends a message: we stopped caring about either Show or Rusev, and we're going to do something else now because we don't know how to pull the trigger on this existing feud.
I agree with the slow burn thing, but I still think currently we're going to get Big Show versus Rusev, and we're also going to get Henry versus Rusev, and it's going to be like a competition as to who can beat him first.
Anything
Like they're going to try play.
Do that Henry Sheamus match that they did with the four corners strap match or whatever the hell that was. That was terrible.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty. I'll tell you what, I know a guy that likes strap matches. I mean, he loved WCW, so Paul, what were your thoughts?
Oh, nothing I love better than a good strap match. There's nothing that says heel turn more than 5 World's Strongest Slams. Yeah, Mark Henry's a heel. There's no implied nothing. Yeah, this totally takes Big Show away from Rusev. He's in a program now with Henry. I can really see either Rusev or Sheamus going into a program with Rusev right now.
So you can see Rusev going into a program with Rusev, can you, my friend?
Oh, yeah, did I say that? Sorry. I mean, Big Show and Henry, they're in a program, and then Rusev's going to wrestle himself on the next pay-per-view.
I'd pay money to see that. Self-inflicted accolade, or as everybody else knows it, the camel clutch.
And I guarantee you, if he put himself into a camel clutch, it would be better than the one that he put on Big Show at Hell in a Cell. So.
See, and this is my...
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was just really shocked that Big Show didn't read the accolade. If you're gonna have anyone do it, surely you have the world's largest athlete do it.
Oh yeah, Big Show. He made Rusev look good. I mean, he put over him being a powerhouse. I mean, like Rensa said the other day on Twitter, I mean, how many times has Big Show ever been vertical suplexed? It's only been a handful. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty big. I mean, they definitely got a rocket strapped to Rusev. So,
I would just like to say on the shorthand that sometimes some of these boys' finisher moves are really awkward on the big men. The accolade looks a little bit awkward on the bigger guys, as does the Cesaro's neutralizer. It's absolutely brutal to watch him set that up on someone like Henry or the Big Show.
Well, a camel clutch looks awkward when it's always when it's a guy on guy. So.
Except for anybody but the Iron Sheik.
Oh no, it's even better when he does, because he does those nice curly boots.
Yeah. His magic boots or whatever they were.
Yeah, he's humbling people. Yes, we're talking about humbling here on the Gentle Lovers of Wrestling.
And yeah, 3 twice just because. Can we not go back to picking on the Laminator or Mr. Laggy over there?
Nope. Gentle Lovers of Wrestling.
Gentle Lovers of Wrestling. Glow.
Dum 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 dum.
Episodes, dude. Like, come on.
Hey, sometimes we just like to show that we care. Me and Sexual Chocolate become as a duo now.
Oh dear.
You got dark. Of course, you got black magic and some snowdrops. That's how we like it. Anyway, moving on.
Snowdrops? Really?
Yeah. Well, okay. Sorry. Will I go Snowman? That better.
I would at least went with snowballing to go with the whole Gentle Lovers of Wrestling thing. That's a clerk. That's a Clerks reference. There, kids. Clerks reference. Go watch it.
Hey kids, don't Google snowballing. Bad move.
And for any of you that and for anybody that doesn't know what snowballing is, hit me up on Twitter. I'll explain. This is the PG show.
I'll be ready.
What was that? Sorry, Chris.
I'll be messaging him after the show.
Tell you what, guys, let's get everyone's pop and heat for this week. Seeing as we've had 2 good shows to go through, I imagine we've got some decent things. I'll be honest, there was probably some pretty terrible things in there. Chris, do you want to give me your pop and heat first?
I actually have 2 pops. The first is them letting Ambrose and Rollins actually go off halfway up the cell. I was moderately impressed with that. I thought health and safety restrictions would mean that was a no-go. I'm glad it wasn't. My other pop would have to be to Ryback's return because, hey, it's cool to see the big guy. As for heat, the handling of Bray Wyatt's return.
Oof. Okay, Paul, pop and heat, hit me up.
Pop of the week goes to everything that Randy Orton has done. He is
Thank you.
He is the MVP of WWE right now. He is fantastic. He's really embraced the whole RKO out of nowhere trend that's kind of taken off because of all the vines. So he is fantastic. And then my heat of the week goes to the women's division. Everything is just beyond bad right now. We're going to be force-fed these Bella segments for a month. Alicia Fox is now going to be a face. It's just not good. So.
I do have one thing to throw in. Has anyone seen the picture of on Facebook where it's like, do you want to see a dead body? It's a picture of Seth Rollins after the RKO.
Is it the one where he looks like Luke Harper?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Krista, what's your pop and heat?
Well, my pop this week. Okay, I have 2. The first pop is the vignettes that WWE does. Like I give them huge props because they do vignettes very, very well. And it always, regardless of what they put out, you're always somewhat excited about the return of the person they're talking about. Even if
Is
when
that
they
in relation to
lose the excitement, it's this that they know how to build up anticipation for their audience.
Is that in relation to Roman Reigns?
Actually, Reigns doesn't do a thing for me.
No, but I'm
Because
saying was it the
honestly,
promo about Reigns?
looks, and I'll say that just because I can't quite shake the belief that he looks exactly like the dude playing the Flying V guitar in the Juicy Fruit commercial. Because that's exactly what it looks like. No, but you look at Bray Wyatt, like the vignettes they do for Bray Wyatt and the vignettes they did for Batista. Not that I was ever about Batista's return, but some people were. Another pop I have is Ryback's return, really. I think they did it quite well. I'm glad he came back as a babyface because he can do the babyface and the heels very well. I'm glad that they put him against Bo Dallas because I'm not a fan of Bo Dallas. I think both men did a really, really good job in that return match. It wasn't lengthy. It wasn't match of the night, but it got the job done and it got the point across that, here's Ryback. He's back and he's got the Feed Me More chance again, and that's a gimmick that went really, really well. And my heat for the week is, I agree with Paul, is the women's division. It's sad. It's bikini
Fair
model.
enough. It's bikini model.
It's bikini
Yeah, I would
model.
agree. At times it is fairly.
Trying to be wrestlers.
Francis, do you want to try and give me your pop and heat and we'll see how it goes?
Let's try it. How's the sound?
Really clear.
Okay, good. Shock. I'm gonna shock everybody. The pop goes to Orton and Cena, Hell in a Cell. They made no use
Good
of
man.
the cell. They made no use of the cell whatsoever. I shouldn't say whatsoever, but they made very little use of the cell. But for an Orton Cena match, that that to me was my favorite Orton Cena match. I don't, there's plenty to choose from. So I thought that the way that they organized the match and the way that they executed the match felt fresh, oddly enough. And I thought Randy Orton just put on a clinic. Cena sold for him reasonably well. I mean, you can't expect so much out of Cena, as far as selling. But I thought they put on a heck of a match. My heat was I knew Rusev had to beat Show, but I didn't love the way he did it. I mean, he's fine, but it just stuck in my craw a little bit, even more so than having a dirty finish for the pay-per-view. I didn't like with everything that Show had put into that, for him to go quietly the way that he did, even in a loss, bit of a waste.
Okay. I'm going to agree with you. My pop for the week goes to angry Randy Orton. That man is so on fire when he is angry. The fact that he almost got a very fluent promo for Randy Orton, in that he didn't have to stop and think about his lines. It didn't sound too methodical. It sounded angry. He sounded almost like 2009 Randy Orton. The one that everyone liked but no one wanted to admit to.
That is how you pull off insane. That's how you pull off crazy, is what Orton did. That is real life crazy, and it was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, and it showed frustration. I loved that he went back and he made some reference to, I want to boot myself back into anger management like I did for real in 2006.
Yeah, there was there was continuity. Somebody actually remembered that, whether it was him or someone else. But yeah, that was brilliant. I loved it.
That to me was gold, and I want to see that every week from Randy Orton, if that's the anger that we get from him. I will say, however, if they turn him babyface too quickly, it'll be for nothing. He needs to be this angry and remain that kind of in-betweener that he always does.
Well, they booked him as a face to open Raw.
They did, but I think fans will get behind him. I think ultimately it's going to come down to Orton and Cena working together at Survivor Series.
Please no.
Yeah, I think it's going to. I think your final two people in the match are going to be Orton and Rollins. But that's just me. My heat for the week, though. I'm going to be really unpopular and say my heat for the week goes to Dean Ambrose.
Oh, we're best friends.
Dean Ambrose this week has not been on par with the last few weeks. He has been dropping every single week. It's kind of like he got so hyped. So we put him on such a big pedestal. And now we're just slowly pulling away the bricks at the bottom of the Jenga pile, and we're waiting for it to fall, and he's going to tumble down with it. And the thing is, we'll go, oh my god, it's WWE's fault. What was happening there? And we'll go, actually, guys, maybe it was us. Maybe we fucked up. Good on them for putting on a great match. However, I'm realizing more and more that Seth Rollins may be the guy that's carrying it. Seth does the matches, Dean does the gimmick. That's how it works.
See, my problem with Ambrose is that he's a greatest hits. That's what he is to me. He's all these things where everyone goes, oh yeah, he's this and he's this and he's this. Yeah, he's all those things, but he's not one thing. He's not Dean Ambrose. Be the first Dean Ambrose. Don't be the next Roddy Piper. Quit trying to be a knockoff Mick Foley. We've already seen those things, and I'm okay with tribute acts. I mean, Benoit was a tribute to Dynamite Kid, but he did enough things to separate himself. I mean, it's just really kind of bothered me because he's better than this, and you're right, he has regressed.
Hopefully the next few
Sorry, I can't see it.
Oh, don't worry, Craig. We are in the minority here, so
can't see it. I'm a connoisseur of these types of things, and I cannot buy what the two of you guys are selling at all. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been some stuff that I haven't liked from Dean, but copying the old guys, everybody who's any good copies the old guys. Everybody. There are no original acts.
But
you can copy an old guy, but you can make your own.
Yeah, don't start off the match by going up top, and bringing out Foley the week before, and then go crashing through a table and using a double arm DDT and using the elbow.
If we wanted to do that, I guarantee you I could take everyone on the roster and deconstruct everything they've copied from other people.
Oh, right, but his is just more blatantly obvious to me.
Yeah.
To me, that's all.
And really, that's not really my issue, though. My issue is his regression of character. I mean, yeah, he can do the, like Rance said, everyone on the roster does stuff like that. Like, hell, you've even got Dolph Ziggler or Mr. Ass Jr. doing the Fame-Asser, If you want to look at it, though, Dean Ambrose over the last few weeks, his promos haven't been as good. The way he's worked in the ring, for me, hasn't been as good. Although I do like the new finisher. I prefer the double arm DDT to Dirty Deeds.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it looks great.
Well, they're actually now calling that Dirty Deeds because they've decided to take the name and just shift it because it looks better.
Yeah, it's only because Cole can't be bothered to remember two different names. So.
Sorry, Michael.
He still refuses to give any kind of a name to the Buckle Bomb for Seth Rollins, which did have a name in the Indies. I just can't recall it off the top of my head.
I'm waiting for him to just call it What a Maneuver. That's what I'm waiting for.
So Amanda, get on that. What's that finisher called?
What a Maneuver. That's what it's called. That's everything.
I think that should be every unnamed finisher's name, and we'll just we'll debut it in WWE 2K15, and then we'll put it forward as our own thing.
But back to Ambrose, though, just for another quick minute. He is, I don't understand this regression. I mean, he's more Stardust than he is Goldust at this point. He's more over the top and cartoony instead of subtle, which is what I would like to see a little bit more of.
Okay, so other than the spear, Seth Rollins is Edge. And
yeah, that's fine.
Through all the facial expressions, the smarmy jerk thing. He's a carbon copy of Edge.
Well, like I said, I would completely agree. There are a lot of stars that are doing other old guys things, but to me, it's so many.
Wow, somebody's really got some background noise.
There's UFOs in Canada.
Chris, I'm
blaming that on you, Krista.
I think that's what he's saying.
UFOs.
Wow. So it's not a shaver, is it?
Chris, turn that Hoover off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a quote-unquote massager, yes.
It's a shaver.
Yeah, right. Chris's back hurts. Wink, wink. It's a massager.
Are you guys saying Chris or Krista?
Chris.
Okay, guys. Tell you what. Let's move on to the next segment. For me, this is a big one. I promised I would do this. This is You Can IWC Me. This week we're going to pull apart one internet indie darling. We're going to try to make this a weekly segment because for me, I think it's about time we took the indie darlings and we kind of made people realize that not all of them are as great as they make out. Last time we did this, we did Dolph Ziggler, and we pulled them apart. This time, I want to do Cesaro. I want to take Cesaro apart.
Let's not do Cesaro. Let's do Rollins.
You're a stone cold thief. If we were going to go round robin, Cesaro would have been the name I pulled out of the hat.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No question.
Oh, okay. Right, we'll tell you what.
Right back then, Claudio Caligula or something like that?
Castagnoli,
that's it.
Right, we'll tell you what. I will pick Claudio or Cesaro or Antonio, whatever you want to call him. I do not see it with this guy. Everyone telling me he's main event material. He is the perfect guy to sit at the top of the mid-card. He is European Sheamus.
Yep.
Like, he is no better than sliced bread.
Isn't European?
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't Sheamus European?
He's from Europe. He's from your neck of the woods.
Are you disowning him?
European, He's
Sorry,
not
okay.
European. He's from Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, and don't ever confuse them with the UK because they get really testy.
You get in trouble for that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse my language. Basically, though, Cesaro to me is like as bland as water. Like this guy, sure he's good, he's strong, and I will admit I gave him his props this week when he suplexed. I believe it was he suplexed Ziggler from the second rope, and I was like, oh, this was impressive.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good.
the deadlift suplex is amazing.
Yeah. Other than that, I just don't care about him. I don't want to see the big swing. I don't want to see Jason Statham bald head. I don't want to hear him talk in 5 languages. I don't even want to see him tag with Jack Swagger again. I'm happy with him being in the spot he's in. And I just don't ever see him being in the main event. I challenge anyone on my Twitter list to send me 5 great things about Cesaro. And I mean great things that deserve him to be in the main event.
Pound for pound, he's the strongest guy, and he can use his European uppercuts, by which I mean when he launches them up into the air, then hits them. And just about any guy with a medium build, obviously he's not going to be able to hit those moves on guys like Henry, Big Show, no one expects him to. But a guy like John Cena, he could hit that on Cena, whereas most guys could not. There's one right there.
Yeah, I could give you a dozen clips of wow moments. He's one of the very, very, very short list of guys. Maybe there's 3 or 4 guys on the roster that make my jaw drop, and Cesaro is one of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I still don't think he's a main eventer, but he is absolutely a top tier entertainer. He's just below main event.
The only thing he lacks. The only thing he lacks of being a main eventer is the mic skills and the promo skills, because I feel like his accent or his English or whatever, something's off.
Well, considering that the biggest names, in the history of pro wrestling have been guys who aren't exactly good in the ring but were fantastic on the mic, and I include Austin in that because even though he could, when he got really big, is because he stopped doing a lot of different things, and he cut his moveset, by 80%. That's when he really became huge.
Okay, but like I said, I challenge anyone to give me 5 reasons, good reasons, as to why Cesaro should be in the main event. And I guarantee not one of you can do it. 5 good reasons.
Stipulation on those 5 reasons?
It's easy to give you 5 reasons why he should. The problem with Cesaro is the one thing that he is weak at happens to be absolutely the most important thing in professional wrestling, which is the ability to work the mic. He has everything else. So I can give you 5 reasons why he should. I still don't think he should because he lacks the most important one thing.
And this is where we're missing managers and people. I mean, the only manager we've got at the moment is Heyman. This is where we need more managers, more people that can talk football.
He had Heyman, and
he failed. Heyman failed miserably.
Yeah, because Heyman didn't know what to do with him.
And Heyman had
problems. So that was Heyman's fault?
I'm not saying it's Heyman's fault. I'm saying it's creative's fault.
No, it was Heyman's fault. Heyman didn't get Axel over. Heyman struggled to do anything with Ryback. I mean, Heyman has not been great recently.
Heyman was cool.
Say something here. I think one of the reasons why Heyman and Cesaro didn't work, because number one, Heyman's got Brock Lesnar, and he still has to put over Brock Lesnar in a way that makes people hate him. And since you have Lesnar, who is the monster heel now because he ended the streak and now has the title, and you have Cesaro, who wasn't really a heel, he wasn't really a face, so it's really hard, I think, for a manager to be identified with, like, the biggest heel in the company, because that's what Lesnar is at this point, and to be also known as the advocate for someone who isn't as defined as, say, Lesnar was. If Cesaro had a different manager who wasn't associated with Lesnar, or the streak ending, or the world title match, he might have fared better.
See, that's what I mean. That was the issue that they had sticking with Heyman, and that's why they need more people than just Heyman.
What
need-
if
like,
they had pulled Swagger from Zeb and kept Zeb with Cesaro?
That would have worked better for Cesaro by far.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know if that would have worked. Because Zeb worked so good with Swagger, where he's an All-American, that type of thing, and then it just transitioned into Rusev. I think that Cesaro going with the Authority, I think that would maybe have some legs, but yeah, you're right. I mean, he is an upper mid card guy. That's it. He's found his spot. He's in a good spot. He's never going to be a world champion. He's probably not going to. He's never going to main event a pay-per-view by himself. But he puts on great matches, and is going to have a wow moment. But that doesn't equal out to be the next Hogan or the next Cena. So.
To me, another way they could have done it was have again, this would only be the upper mid card, but it'd give Cesaro something better to do. Would be to have had Zeb Coulter denounce the USA and join Europe.
Fantasy booking by Chris.
Hey, it always happens, man.
But they do. I have to agree. They need managers. They need managers like I remember Freddie Blassie as a manager. He was insane. Bobby Heenan, those kind of guys. Even Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South.
Cesaro would have been a perfect guy for the Heenan family.
Yep.
He would have been a perfect guy there.
But Heenan's awesome. I mean, who did Heenan ever fail with?
Brooklyn Brawler.
That doesn't count. Someone with talent, please.
I mean, he looked after Ric Flair too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he had Flair.
He had fabulous.
Yeah, he had so many great guys, and he would have been perfect. He would be the perfect mouthpiece for Cesaro. Cesaro just came along 25 years too late.
So let me ask you.
Look at what he did with Andre.
Well, someone's mentioned Flair here. Could you not see? Because we saw Cesaro walking out in a robe. Could we not see Cesaro becoming the new Nature Boy? With Flair as his mouthpiece and manager?
No.
Yeah, Nature Boy Buddy Landell.
No.
Let me ask you this.
Dude, if you have Ric Flair walk out to the ring with Cesaro, who do you think is going to be the star here?
Okay, Chris, let me ask you this.
And you can't trust Flair without Mike.
Nope.
You know Flair's going into business for himself.
Goddamn, guys. Chris, let me ask you this. If you try to get an under 18 into a bar, and you take him in with a homeless drunk man, do you really think they're going to pay any attention to the under 18? They're going to kick out the homeless drunk man, and the under 18 is just going to get left on the street.
No, he's just going to sneak
Ziggler,
in.
yeah, Ziggler may work better with Flair. Any other drunk may work better with Flair. How give Flair a drinking buddy? Cesaro, fuck up. There's my language.
Can't put Flair with Ziggler.
No,
it's a total overshadow.
Okay, guys.
I got somebody you can put Flair with that would not be overshadowed. Randy Orton.
Go on.
But that's going back to, evolution and that.
Is that a problem?
I don't see how I could see that being used in a feud whereby you have Orton and Flair, Triple H and Rollins, and you have them making fun and pointing out the fact that Rollins never got to join Evolution because Triple H doesn't trust him.
But the thing is, though, is that Flair basically gave the two fingers to Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista, and gave his kind of his handshake to the members of the Shield.
Okay,
turned around the next night and took it back.
So let me ask you then. Does WWE really care about continuity? They've mentioned it once. Like I said, Randy Orton mentioned anger management back in 2006. That's the first continuity I've seen in a long time. But let me ask you guys, Rensis, who can you IWC?
I thought are we doing somebody different?
I know you said Cesaro, but for next week, I want you to pick who you can IWC, and we will tear them apart.
You mean to pick one now?
No, man. You just think that over,
okay.
And we'll put it as a topic for next week. But let me ask you guys, over the recent weeks, we have, we've done our fashion segments. Has there been any fashion this week that has really bothered you?
Yes.
Go on, Krista.
What I've noticed, and it just, you see it every week, but it just doesn't register until one moment, then it clicks. That happened for me last night with the Usos, and the similarity of their shirts to John Cena's. It's like they don't even have, when it comes to their t-shirts, their new ones, Crazy Usos or whatever it is, it's almost like they're still living in Cena's shadow, like when they were teaming up with him against whoever. It's, they're kind of rehashing their own designs. It's not allowing these two guys to have, their own thing. It's basically a recycle of what's already been done.
Why are they doing face paint?
Because they needed something to make them less bland when they were first getting over.
Yeah.
No, really, dude. No, really.
No, when they were first trying to get over that.
No, I'm not being negative toward you. I'm just saying. Face paint?
Oh, you mean
really?
to help get them over?
Yeah, come on.
I
Face
think
paint.
the honest answer as to why they've got it is Jimmy and Jay needed to be told apart, and face paint does it. It helps the commentators.
Yep, that's another very good part of that.
Doesn't work.
Well, yeah, because, they have basically sports to that Reigns and The Rock have.
It's a Samoan tribal tattoo, isn't it? So.
Yeah. And that's why they have it. But I noticed that when they were wrestling last night that their shirts look a lot like Cena's orange shirt. Same leather, same setup, everything.
Here we go. The Uso tags in the Uso.
Yeah, it's that's why they have face paint.
Yeah. And that's why one of them has a bit less of a tattoo on one shoulder than the other one does.
Who did the Usos have a match with on Raw?
Okay, I asked on Twitter 2 seconds ago, are the Usos just John Cena's Samoan copies? Future Shock PW says no, while D-Rose329 says yeah, pretty much.
Well, at least it's definitive, right?
Guys, who did they actually have a match? Who did they actually have a match with on Raw?
Mizdow and The Miz.
Oh no, Mizdow and Miz, yeah.
And then they did the twin magic, so they won.
Yeah, that annoyed me. Face team doing a heel move. But Eddie Guerrero did it his whole career, right?
Hogan.
Lie, cheat, and steal.
We lie, we tweet, we steal. I still remember how hard I laughed the first time you said that to me.
The social media era? Good lord.
Oh, lying and tweeting and stealing would have been so over.
I love it.
He would have had the time of his life.
Well, except he would have stolen everyone's phones, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, wow.
So,
fashion, anything that, pretty much anything that Naomi does works.
can we get something for Ryback that isn't a singlet? Like anything more?
I liked it. I like his singlet.
I like
his
it
new
better than
singlet's
the
nice.
one with the big R.
I like it, but it's for a guy that muscly, I think it'd be.
At least he didn't get the dog's breakfast that was RVD's.
Oh yeah. Let's ask Mr. Muscle over here, Paul. Ryback singlet, good or bad?
Oh, wonderful.
There we go.
How did I know? How did I know he was gonna say that?
So what, it has like Feed Me More right over his belly. Come on, it's wonderful.
He is like a big muscly Teletubby, isn't he?
He is.
And the next thing you're gonna say is you want Rusev to wear a red singlet with CCCP on it.
Yeah, and carry a chain around his neck too.
As long as I don't see his nipples.
Just as long as he has shoes on, I don't care what he wears. Just
Do they
put the
be
damn shoes on.
Do we give him curly shoes?
That's fine. Hey, if Russian people wear curly shoes, I don't care. Put
No.
one of those big furry hats on his head.
We
Big furry hat on his head, chain around his neck, red singlet with the CCCP.
we could. Unpopular opinion of the week. We could just solve the singlet problem by releasing him.
Oh,
Aww.
come on, man.
So that's not unpopular. That's no.
Oh, God.
Go back to your laminator.
We like
Somebody cut his mic.
Oh man. Oh,
You need to go on mute.
I haven't muted him. It's his own fault. I actually haven't muted him just to clear that up.
No, I mute myself.
He mutes himself because he knows when to shut up.
Do it more.
Bitch.
Oh,
Just stay on mute.
Where's Skeletor when I need him? I need someone to take the heat off me.
I took it earlier. Tell you what, guys, what did you think to the back and forth between Triple H, Steph, and John Cena on Raw? Steph tore John Cena a new one. Like, kayfabe or not, that was the most truthful promo she's cut in a long time.
And Triple H was a little bitch.
I loved it because, I mean, Stephanie plays an incredible heel. She goes for the gusto in it, and the fans, you truly love to hate her.
Well, John Cena fans do anyway.
Yeah.
I truly love to love her.
She's easily the best heel in the company. By
Yeah.
She's the best heel in the world.
With the exception of Angry Randy Orton, who is a better heel.
He's not a heel, though. He's going to be a tweener.
He's pissing around is what he's doing.
When he's spitting venom in people's face, he's as good as a heel. But in terms of Steph, I do feel like she's... And I don't get how the daughter of the CEO is putting on a better show than half the people that are paid to be there and perform.
Half.
Most.
Half, bro?
She's paid more than all of them.
No, what he's saying is that, all these guys are paid to be there, and here she is, daughter of the owner of the company. And she's just better than some of these guys have been doing it longer than she has.
She's grown up in the business.
She's actually paid to do her job backstage, not to be out there performing. But she still goes out there and puts on a better performance than guys like Cena.
Look at her pedigree. She better be doing a better job than those guys.
She actually executes a pretty decent pedigree. She does.
She actually does better Divas matches than the Divas. When a woman that's got the office job is doing a better performance than some of the Divas, that's saying something.
Mm.
Well, and definitely, because, those girls are just brutal to watch. Like, send them to acting classes, please.
Can you really name me 5 performers anywhere in pro wrestling better than Stephanie right now?
Shane.
No, right now.
Right now, Randy Orton.
Better than Stephanie?
Yeah, only when he's in his angry state.
EC3.
Yeah, I was just about to say Ethan Carter.
Tyrus.
Yeah. Ethan Carter.
His name is
Tyrus?
His name is Tyrus.
His name is Tyrus. Now, we need 2 more of them. Go. What's his name?
I like what Seth Rollins is doing.
I was going to say Rollins. Rollins does well.
Better than Steph?
But no, not...
The way that I would say Rollins is better than Steph is in the sense that when he's in the ring, like look at when they were setting up for the curb stomp on the cinder blocks at Hell in a Cell, the look on Rollins' face said it all. It was a mixture of I'm screwed and I'm half dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something unpopular. This probably should have been my unpopular view of the week. But dude, if I gave just about anybody on the roster, Triple H and Stephanie and Kane and Orton and the 2 Stooges, I probably could look pretty good out there with all that help.
Yeah, better get over.
So let's pump the brakes on Seth a little bit here.
His match with Cena says otherwise.
Let's pump the brakes on Seth, man. Until they show me that they're willing to trust him out there by himself, I ain't buying it. I think you put just about anybody with that much help, and they're gonna get over.
Okay then, Mark Henry.
Anybody but Cesaro.
Mark Henry. Guys, Mark Henry.
What about?
You leave Mark Henry alone.
No,
Dude,
I'm
Mark
saying
Henry's
Henry's.
put on some performers that are.
That man is a
Unbelievable.
national treasure.
I'm saying Henry's better than.
But Nathan,
When Henry is given proper material, he is better than Steph.
I think
different.
I think I've made my point though. The
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that we're struggling to name 5 performers anywhere better than Stephanie tells you how good she is.
Yeah, I could only do one, and that was Ethan Carter. The third.
And they're
Sami
not.
Zayn.
Oh, mute him. And the good thing with Steph is that they know how good she is, and she's not out there for every segment. You know, they're not overkilling.
I'd just like to point
Mute
out
that man! Didn't I say mute? Mute him!
I'd just like to point out that was 1 hour and 11 minutes.
Good. That man is as bland as his haircut. Come on. Good.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's Seth Rogen's stunt double. Get Sami Zayn out of here. I don't want to see.
I'm probably going to get a load of rebuttal at the minute, as I've just tweeted out. Seth Rollins ain't that great. So we're going to see how this one goes.
Oh, he's real good. He's real good.
Oh, well done for retweeting that, Krista, and getting my hopes up. Wow. Crushed.
oh come on.
Hey, Skeletor, how you doing?
Okay.
Oh, that was
Don't sound so
Tim.
enthusiastic.
That's his happy Ryback's bad voice. So that is him happy.
Skeletor, I am tagging you in. It's your turn to get the heat.
I'm okay.
Yeah, things are good. Ryback's back. So
Ryback is back, bitches.
So that kept me from slitting my wrist today. So, but other than that,
Dude, people cheering to feed me more. Like, what else could you want on a show?
people liked him. It was great. I was living vicariously through him for a minute.
Yep.
Dude, that Widow's Peak is getting longer every week, man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's your cue, Aaron, to drop a Kane reference.
Oh, am I your monkey now, Rensis?
If that's what it takes, you know.
Wait,
hey.
right.
Oh, hold on, no. I know what Kane's doing. He's going to be Eddie Munster for Halloween. That's what he's doing.
I would just like to point out.
I know. I've turned into JBL making a 1960s TV show.
Dude, I've watched every episode of that show. I'm not kidding.
Guys, I would just like to point out that at Hell in a Cell, there was a very short-lived trend going around, which was Kane ruins everything.
I saw it.
Did that actually trend?
It was actually a little bit of like one of the bottom trends, and it lasted about a minute or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we finally got a Kane Ruins Everything trend.
Oh yeah.
That makes me really, really happy. Because Michael Cole said it. He did say it, didn't he? My God, we finally got Kane Ruins Everything. We can celebrate. Next week's show will be called LoWdown, Kane Ruins Everything.
LoWdown ruins everything. Coming next week.
Hey, but let's not go that far. We also Kane ruins that. Kane on LoWdown, we would ruin.
But, Lowdown is on the internet. And Kane is the internet.
Oh God, here we go. And the internet is evil. Kane is evil, therefore.
Therefore, Kane is Lowdown. Lowdown ruins everything.
Who dropped out?
Rentis just left it. I'm pretty sure Rentis heard that and was like, screw this, I'm out.
No more.
Actually, I'd like to think it's because of the photo I just sent.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
referencing Mr. John Tibbs. But...
Yeah, John Tibbs is currently unavailable. He said he would love to tweet in and talk to us, but he's currently gigging, so good luck to John. I hope they boo you as much as they boo us on the internet. Speaking of being booed, who do you think currently is getting the most heat for being awful in the ring? I have to say it must be Miz at the minute. Like, when your stunt double, who is a replica of you, is more over than you are, there's a problem.
I think that's part of the point.
But is it part of the point, or is he just getting more over than
They seem to be feeding into it, which means I think it's part of the point. Like, they're building...
the plan?
I mean, the stuff that they're doing whereby they are now saying, you know, I beat, what was it? I beat Sheamus, and Mizdow was like, actually, I got the pin. And, you know, the daggers that he got and stuff. It does seem like they're going towards that.
Also,
that is the
on...
point that people will cheer Sandow, they can turn him face and have Sandow versus Miz.
I mean, on Raw, Miz pointed to Sandow, and people cheered, and then he did like a to himself pose, and everyone booed, and then he pointed at Sandow again, and everyone cheered, and he did that like 5 times. Like, I think they're very much playing into that right now. Like, I think this has been very much the idea for at least a few weeks.
Well, it's just going to be sad when they turn Sandow face and then they break him away from Miz.
And then he has
and
nothing.
then he's going to be nothing.
Yeah, he has nothing left.
It's really sad. But yeah, this is how great he is. He's made the Miz interesting.
I mean, maybe they'll do what I said, and he devours the Miz and takes his power.
I was going to say, but wouldn't it then be cool if, like, you have the Miz going around backstage and you have Sandow turning into kind of a fanboy over the Miz? So
what if Sandow took over the Miz persona, and then Miz had an identity crisis, and every week came out as a new thing?
Well,
Double switch.
The other thing I could see happening potentially is that you have, you know, oh crap! I forgot what I was going to say. Screw it.
Miz versus John Morrisdow.
I have 4 words.
Yep.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, it would be great, but would WWE do it?
No, friggin' Sandow needs to start Kirbying people. He just sucks them in and takes their abilities.
Well, now, I honestly think that you could have, you know, Sandow walking around as a fanboy backstage or something, and, you know, the Miz being like, get lost, get out of here, you're not wanted here.
It would be interesting, actually. It'd be a different dynamic to Sandow anyway. Not that he needs any more dynamics. I mean, the man is so open.
Oh no, but could you imagine the pops he would get, like, the laughs and the cheers and everything he'd get from the crowd if he was, like, fanboying over the Miz and chasing him around everywhere trying to get his autograph or something?
Sounds like Rockstar Spud to me.
Hey, let's not shit on Spud.
I love Spud, but it's not.
Is it Rockstar? Isn't Rockstar
not exactly
from
moving the
Birmingham?
needle.
Isn't he from Birmingham?
I believe he is, but no, don't compare yourself to him.
We call it Birmingham here, buddy.
Personally,
Alabama.
I don't mind Spud either. Although, you know, the funny suits, been done.
Yeah, Rockstar Spud is from Birmingham.
From Birmingham.
Shut up, you bloody Scot.
Hey, I don't really have a Scottish accent, so...
You
No,
in your
you gotta-
made-up language.
Vote no, you bloody Scot.
You know what's funny? Your American accent is actually better than your Scottish accent.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rensis. I have never done an accent. I don't do accents. It's just not me. The same way that Paul doesn't do a Skeletor voice, and sure as hell you don't do a Dusty Rose. So
If you will.
if you will.
I need Paul to like do a combination voice of sad Dusty Rose.
Oh, there's no such thing as saying Dusty Rhodes.
No, it doesn't exist. Which is why
No,
I
it doesn't
what it would
exist.
sound like.
I don't even know. I don't even know what it would sound like. So.
I'm looking through Wrestling Inc. at the moment, which is where I go, wrestlinginc.com. As far as
It-
I use.
Don't be plugging other websites on here.
Hey.
That would be hard times.
But
There will be some hard times there, baby.
there's an article up here now. Backstage news on CM Punk's relationship with WWE.
Mute him.
We don't care. We don't care.
He signed a merch deal. End of.
No one cares.
If
See,
he's
yeah.
not putting on the boots and getting in the ring, I don't care.
Yeah, we
All
need to
I
talk about
was
more
going-
important things, like
all I was going
Ryback
to-
beating Rusev and then
all I
winning
was
the
going to
WWE
say-
title.
All I was going to say is,
About that.
guys, looking at the Royal Rumble coming out, looking at the Royal Rumble coming in January, we have a list of potential returns: Roman Reigns, Bad News Barrett. You've got Daniel.
All our fans, feel free to take a potty break.
You've got Daniel Bryan. Who's to say Punk doesn't come back and get eliminated in like 3 seconds?
Me.
You know, someone's gonna develop like a plug-in where it mutes anytime Chris talks.
Chris, I tell you what, I will make you a bet. If CM Punk returns against...
Hold on. Skeletor, quiet, bitch.
You are not Brie Bella.
Guys,
You are not Brie Bella.
But isn't Skeletor like the Total Divas fan?
Well, why gotta be bringing up old stuff? Anyway, if CM Punk returns, we will change the name of this show to LoWdown. There.
Oh, that is so on.
There we go.
And it has to be like an
Lamb
actual
down,
in-ring
lamb down.
return.
Yeah, in-ring
It can't
return.
be like he shows up to promote some crap.
In-ring return at the Royal Rumble. We'll change your show to LoWdown.
The other question I was going to ask is, will we see Batista at the Royal Rumble?
No.
Yes.
Who cares? Ryback's back.
We've already talked about that, Skeletor. Come on, catch up.
Yeah, who cares? The better version of Batista's back.
Yeah, we got white T-stud. It's cool. Wow, you laughed far too hard at that, you racist.
I'll take Batista, thanks. And I'm a Ryback fan.
Sorry, that was something else popped into my head.
I bet it did.
So apparently there's 90 members of the roster, supposedly, or whatever. I'm not sure how accurate. What?
I told you this. There are 90 members of the roster.
Okay, there's 90 members of the roster. You've got 30 slots for the Royal Rumble.
Actually, you have 40.
Is it 40 or 30? Because
He can't add, sorry. You know.
It's a 40-man this year.
I'd heard that they announced it was 40 and then changed it to 30.
No, still 40.
Okay, it's still 40.
I'm going to be drinking per entrance.
There will be one person from NXT guaranteed to be in the Royal Rumble. Who do you think will be?
For all of our listeners in the States, that's Odie.
Yeah.
Francis, you need to do that anytime he speaks from now on.
Chris. As far as it goes, Chris, for me, if anyone's going to be in the Rumble, it's got to be the Spot Monkey. They're going to be and he is going to be a Spot Monkey, just that. And we're going to have a spot off between Kofi Kingston and Zayn. And whoever gets the bigger spot gets to keep their job.
I disagree. I think the person that will enter the Rumble will be Neville.
No, they're not going to waste Neville in a Rumble.
The only reason I say Neville is... What, sorry?
I could see Tyler Breeze going into the Rumble with them
Sorry.
around his voice.
I could see a handful of guys doing it.
Maybe they're going to give you a full 10 dedicated entries, hence why it's a 40-man this year.
Odie.
Well, I could see them upping the ability to give a spot to all the guys returning.
This year,
Okay,
it will
guys.
be the return of the 40-man battle, the 40-man battle royal, if you will.
Obviously, the person who's going to be in the Rumble is going to be 2 people, and it's going to be Team Thick, brother.
Ew.
That's what they're called, apparently.
I think I feel uncomfortable now.
What is
That's
that?
their name, bro.
Well, what is it?
Guys, WWE confirmed on tonight's Raw that the 2015 Royal Rumble match will have 30 competitors, not 40 as previously reported.
Sorry, who reported that?
That was Wrestling Inc.
Right, okay. Until I have actual proof on WWE's website or from WWE themselves, I'm 40. It's going to be 40 people.
Throw it in the pile. Well, firstly, they'd want to save that announcement, but B, Wrestling Inc. is full of crap like half the time, so I don't really care.
Yeah, they're a news with a Z site. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's a good
They're-
expression.
They're newsy.
Right, guys,
They're kind of news-ish.
let's get everyone's unpopular opinion of this week. I'm gonna let the latecomer go first. Skeletor, give us your depressed, unpopular opinion.
Kane is good.
No, everyone knows that, Francis. Now, okay. Alright, so as I...
Shark Boy is good.
Once again, everyone knows that, Francis. Okay, so I believe, and I've described this to Paul earlier, that we desperately need the amazing dynamic duo of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel to dominate the tag team division. There we go.
That's grounds for divorce in a married couple.
Can somebody
Also,
mute his
I
mic, please?
manage this tag team.
Can you turn off his mic?
Yeah, did you just hear that X-Pac heat that you got after saying that? You were expecting a reaction. Everyone just, nothing.
I got
That's what
hardcore
that tag
X-Pac
team.
You go there, it was like the heat off Kane's pyro.
I need to wash.
You got more heat than Mysterio did at the Royal Rumble.
But, guys,
I need to wash that off. So can somebody else go now, please?
But wait though, this is where it gets good though.
But guys, you gotta believe in perfection.
No, this is where it gets good. Skeletor becomes their manager,
Yes.
and then every week they have to find a way to basically talk him off the ledge of not killing himself.
Yes. There we go.
Timmy Wood.
Yeah,
but this would be good.
I would pay to see someone World's Strongest slam him after that.
Dude, I would pay to be World's Strongest Slam.
He's literally dust then. Rensis, you can go with yours.
Unpopular, is that what we're doing?
Yeah, unpopular opinion, my friend.
Unpopular opinion. Someone got pretty upset with me on Twitter because they thought that I was not a Rollins enough fan. And it's going to sound like that again. I like Rollins, I really do. But when you have everything around him that he has, he's not really doing it, dude. He's really not. If Steph has to be out there, and Triple H has to be out there, and Orton has to be out there, and Kane has to be out there, and Noble and Mercury, and he's still no, he's not. No.
Can Jamie Noble beat Brock Lesnar, please? That's my reality I want.
Yeah. So, long story short, if they really believed in him, he wouldn't need all that help.
Krista, what's your unpopular opinion?
My unpopular opinion is that when he comes back, Daniel Bryan will not be running back to the top of the card.
If he comes back, not buying that at all.
Boo!
Hey, it's an unpopular opinion, but I know he'll be a second stringer behind Reigns, and y'all know it. Sad to say, but he'll be behind Reigns. He'll be the second stringer, number 2 face.
I'll bet my hair.
You ain't got no hair.
Shut up!
You'll find he has a long, glorious weave that he puts in at least 3 times a month.
Wow.
Well, he didn't specify which hair, and
Wow.
honestly,
Okay, you stop now.
Okay.
So,
That
okay,
went
so-
in a direction I
so
did
it's
not
gonna be a
want.
hair
Jeez.
versus scaffold match? Is that what it's gonna be?
Jesus.
yep.
Okay. Yeah, I know you're not gonna. Yeah, I know you're gonna welch.
Like, I realized that was a dumb joke, like, in a pun and stuff, but just, it made me imagine a scaffold match, which made me want to vomit. Because scaffold matches are the worst thing that has ever happened. I just
Not
can't
this
deal
one.
with it.
Not
No.
this one wouldn't be.
No, just guys, no.
The only thing worse than the scaffold match was that friggin' 3 cells on top of each other thing.
Okay, guys.
I think Skeletor's totally missed it.
What is your unpopular opinion?
Mine?
Yeah, go for you, Chris. What's your unpopular opinion?
My unpopular opinion, Ryback. My unpopular opinion of the week, Ryback's return was better than Wyatt's.
Oh God.
Yeah, that is.
So, me and Chris together at last.
Wow. You guys are just burning up in Kane's heat, but hey. Oh, what's wrong?
Friggin'.
Dumpster fire.
No, you see, like,
Is it worth mentioning I actually designed a WrestleMania intro for Kane,
Dumpster
Later.
fire.
which uses a Metallica and a Symphony.
Right now, you deserve to be shot. Your turn.
dude, I was like,
Pay through the
WWE,
nose
I'm
without.
hungry for some great new talent, and then they fed me more.
Right, Paul, your turn. Unpopular opinion.
I already gave mine earlier when we were bashing Dean Ambrose. So.
Oh, did that
Yeah,
happen?
Yeah. Dean Ambrose is not the end all be all. It's it's basically it. He has regressed and
Oh.
see earlier in the show.
But what about my angry Tumblr posts? What about those, Paul?
I don't go on Tumblr. Tumblr's
I've never been on Tumblr.
Oh.
My unpopular opinion was ranting too much. Okay, I understand on this show that we do a little bit of fancy booking, but at no point do we say our ideas are better than those who run the shows.
I think that goes without saying.
At no point have we said that. My issue comes with the people that vote saying that their ideas are better than WWE's, and WWE are stupid, quote, retarded, / idiots, / have no idea what they're doing, who's running this company, oh my god, quote, what faggots, end quote. You people are the problem with wrestling. Like, you ruin wrestling for other fans because they have to listen to your shit. Stop it. You horrible pieces of crap. I understand you can voice your opinion as much as you want, but don't tell me that you're a better writer than those who are hired. If you think you're better, go for a job. Apply for it, so you can be shot down by these companies. There is a reason these writers are in the position they are in. I'm not saying it's great, but there's a lot of clashing problems. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I'm also not saying that you're better, and you shouldn't either. Get over yourselves and move on.
I'm also going to add that I would like to see half of you deal with having to write drafts the day of the show because Vince McMahon is telling you no. You will be stressed out of your goddamn head.
The
Yeah,
views
go deal with
expressed
Vince.
on Levels of Wrestling are not those of the WWE or any of its related companies. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, really good voiceover.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Have that at the start of the show for the voiceover.
Yeah,
Wait.
Brent, can you do like a really smooth intro for the show next week? Like, that was really cool. Now going back to the Metallica comment by Paul, sorry, not Paul, by Chris. Chris, no, just no. Metallica and Kane should not know. Don't interrupt. No, bad Chris. I'm going to do this. We're not going to put Kane and Metallica together. We put one thing I kind of like and one thing that I despise. We're going to ruin both. Okay? Do not put Phil's voice with Kane.
Can I read a tweet that I read to Scott?
The only thing I'm going to say about that is, have you heard the S&M album by... You haven't, have you?
It's by Metallica. I don't care.
No
It was-
one cares,
It was
Chris.
released in 1994. It was the only time that his voice wasn't crap.
It was really cool when I did with my action figures, in my room. And I played it in the background, and I had my laptop up, and it looked like a Titantron. It was pretty cool.
Hey,
man,
don't diss
hey,
that. Don't diss my life.
Half of our listeners are that, man. What are you doing?
Really?
Half of us are that, Paul.
I have another
Ease up, dude.
unpopular opinion.
Ease
Wow.
up.
All right, quickly, I want to read
Hold on,
off-
people do that?
Okay, Scott, there we go.
All right. So one Mr.
I'm seriously in shock here.
All right.
Let him read.
1 second. One Mr. at Obnoxious CJ Webb wrote, "My unpopular opinion of the week at Fallout_WWE is pretty cool." There we go.
You're not allowed to have fans.
Aww.
See?
Look at that.
Skeletor.
Look at that. Skeletor's making friends.
Good.
Just CJ Webb has just turned him into like the Santino character of the show by doing that.
I am
yeah.
a god.
No, he's the suicidal comedic babyface now.
No, dude, I am full of myself now. I am better than all of you, and I am a god.
I have a reason. I have a reason to live. People like me.
People, someone out there finally likes me.
Couldn't
Oh,
work
I
out
can-
because this is an appropriate time to say that I have to go now.
So right. Well, thank you.
Dude, it would have been perfect for some 3-6 Mafia to drop as soon as he said that, and out comes Mark Henry.
That would be awesome.
All right,
Dude.
boys, I'm out of here. You have a good week, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, Kristen.
Bye.
See you later.
You can't tell me what to do.
What you
Oh my
think?
God,
You think you're better?
He's turned into the Miz now. Look at him. He's Miz with no confidence. That's what you're at.
Oh God. Oh,
I am
Bow,
very.
bow to the masses.
Skeletor, you may want to check your Twitter.
Oh God.
I'm sure it's gone poorly for me now.
Have people start tweeting Skeletor. This isn't a
Oh wait, no. It's Chris messaging me Metallica SNL.
right. Okay.
Okay.
Back
Oh,
to the world.
Also, fuck Metallica.
Oh,
Show that PG rating.
No,
Oh, dude,
we're
thanks.
good.
no, we were nice and clean up until then. Thanks.
I doubt that. I severely doubt that.
I'm pretty sure I dropped about 3 swears during my little rant about the IWC.
I'm pretty sure like Krista usually dumps one off super early, like first
Oh,
5
no.
minutes.
Oh no, we've all been clean.
Don't let the world know about Krista's toilet habits. She does not dump one off early.
Oh,
All right.
God.
You gotta accept the fact that I am from Virginia, so I have some weird patterns to my speech.
Clearly, by the way, Vince McMahon somewhere has gone, by God, that's gold. We'll use that. So expect
Dumpster fire.
at least one poop joke next week.
Rensis saying it's a dumpster fire does not make it any less of a dumpster fire. In fact,
Aaron took his
adds
Prozac
fuel to the
today.
fire that is in that dumpster.
My goodness.
Well, does it make you feel any better that the fire was ignited by Kane?
Yes,
No.
I'm very happy now.
Because he's afraid of fire, or at least that's what the thing was. And then that changed.
He loved it, and then he was afraid of it, then he loved it, and then now he uses fire extinguishers.
Yeah. He should just do that. He should go back to wearing the suit and carry a fire extinguisher.
No, I want him to do his pyro and then put out his pyro with a fire extinguisher.
I totally didn't get that. It's like, dude, wait a minute. He's using a fire extinguisher? He has fire powers. Why not just use fire? It's a lot more damaging.
I really do wish he just had like a piece of flash paper and he threw it in Dean Ambrose's face.
Do you not remember when that happened with Jeff Hardy? Let's not do that.
Well, okay, no one cares about Jeff Hardy.
Oh, no.
Man, back in your box.
Shut your whore mouth.
Do my thing. Right? Do my thing.
I would never do your thing, bro. Never.
I think you would do my thing. Because, doing someone else's thing on the internet is not a fun thing to do. I hate when people do other people's things on the internet. And when they say, the same kind of thing, that's, the worst.
I've just got to point out I have just found a trailer for Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. The caption is, still less sequels than Cena vs. Orton.
So it's like Friday the 21st now?
Yeah.
Why did they pick the
There's a-
8th one? There's like 2 more.
There's been 13 Friday the 13th. So
Boo.
Yeah, but those that includes spin-off stuff.
Yeah, that includes the remake and Freddy vs.
Yeah, because it only went up to X. Like, the space one was where it ended originally.
I've got an interesting question for you guys. Obviously,
Doubt
we've
it.
started seeing changes in Randy Orton. Unfortunately, Randy Orton is cast to play in The Condemned 2. With this in mind, is Randy Orton going to hit his peak again and then be taken off screen?
I think that's good for him. I think the best thing that could happen to Randy Orton and John Cena is to go part-time.
I'm not sure about Randy
Well-
Orton, but definitely John Cena.
Yeah, but they can knock out one of these WWE Studios movies in 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kane did it in 2.5.
yeah. So we're really not gonna miss him. So
Though, to be fair, Kane is like, I just watched that movie this weekend, and since he's a monster in a monster movie, he's only in it for like 20 minutes of the 90 minutes.
But it's good.
I mean, he's pretty good. Like, it's not like he has emotional scenes really, except for one. Oh, it's way better than the first one. It's
I did jerk off to every scene that Kane was in twice. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Hey.
I loved
Hey.
the last hour of
So fire.
loading out some of the warning.
I give it 2 hands up.
All right, that's pretty great, Paul, and accurate. But I thought it was a fairly entertaining slasher flick, and I like the people who directed and wrote it because American
Yeah,
Mary's
but-
amazing.
I had to the Ahsoka twins did a good job on it. However,
Yeah, the Super Soska twins did it so.
yeah, my only criticisms of it were that it's too typical. Like, there's nothing that really stands out about it.
It
I
is
don't care.
pretty like standard slasher fare, but it's got some really funny like weird bits in it that made it pretty like enjoyable.
Well,
But-
yeah, it's a slasher flick. What do you want it to
Well,
do?
yeah,
Be,
you can't do
be
a
John
whole lot.
Carpenter's Halloween? You know?
Unless you just go stupid like Jason X did, you have a very limited range of what you're doing.
I don't know. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. You know,
But like all those movies, it does that thing where it sags in the middle because we're just killing people to have like dumb kills, and then it gets better in the end when there's like 2 or 3 people left and you actually care about what's happening. Like the start and the end is always the best part of those kind of movies.
Sorry, Chris. I love the image you've just sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like Snagglepuss.
This is a film criticism thing now. I'm taking it over.
Talking of film criticism, right? I'm getting this out here now. We have creative control over this name. Back off, film. Back off. Enough of your shit. There's no need. Hence the reason this episode, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is called LoWdown Full Movie, is because recently there's been a movie released called LoWdown. And it's apparently awful. So we're taking the name, we're keeping it, and stop using people to turn us against us by using my hashtag, you awful people.
Yeah, it doesn't even have anything to do with Andre or Big Show or wrestling or nothing.
This is my life, and there's no Andre. Scouser, that was the girliest laugh I've
It
ever
was. I don't know what just happened. I am deeply ashamed.
You should.
I was trying to hold it in, and that caused it to come out very badly.
No, never hold it in, man.
Don't hold it in, just let that chuckle roar. That's what
Mhm.
Big Show does. What my dad does. Seriously though, if anyone has any knowledge about legal rights and us using this name, let me know if I can sue. That would be useful. Thanks, guys.
I would say do it anyway.
Shark Boy sued Adventures of
Yeah,
Shark
no,
Boy
I
and
get-
Lava Girl. And he got money
see
out of it.
that's why. That does interest me. Can I sue for a hashtag? Like, or like royalties every time someone uses it?
I don't think that's a possibility.
Hey,
Yeah, everyone owes you a penny.
Though
They-
somehow the Happy Birthday song or whatever is copyrighted. So
Yeah, Happy Birthday's been copyrighted for years.
yeah, I just think that's such a weird thing that like if you do it on TV, you actually have to spend money on it.
Well, it's the same reason they can't show the Hollywood sign in films. They have to pay for that. Which interests me that WWE, well, it doesn't interest me, but WWE have never actually used the Hollywood sign when telling someone they're from Hollywood. Like, in an entrance video, they've never shown the Hollywood sign.
Well, they like to be a bit more subtle than that.
Oh, really? They like to be subtle?
Pro wrestling is all about subtlety.
I'm glad you like subtlety and irony.
The deep intricities of Miz's entrance music starting with lights, camera, action.
Hey man, that could be anything. Anything.
Quiet on the set.
I would just like to point out there are 3 days before we find out what's happening with the UK network.
That's 3 days where I'm beginning to care less and less and less.
More importantly,
I'm not missing
3 days to Halloween.
I'm not missing anything by not being on the network currently. I'm not on the American network. I'm not on a British network. I'm not missing anything that I wouldn't usually see anyway.
Oh, missing all that sick NWA action that gets me all mad about scaffold matches.
Oh, man, what are you talking about? I get to see my Ring of Honor stuff on YouTube because I'm Indian hip.
I got to see 83 finishers get kicked out of in one match. Huh.
And that was just John Cena versus Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, they would have had to double theirs just to equal like a Red Dragon match.
Also, friggin' Orton would have kicked out of that through the table AA like 4, and then Cena would have done like 6 more of them.
On top of a bomb.
Dude, they would have like spread glass out and like someone would have shot John Cena in the face and he would have kicked out. friggin' indies. Ugh.
It's not a problem with the indies. It's just a problem with Ring of Honor.
Well, it's a problem with Ring of Honor and like its ilk. Like, there's like 1 or 2 other companies that are quite like them because they're trying to model after them.
New Japan does the same thing.
Yeah, New Japan also does that. I just can't deal with a match that has more than like 2 or 3 finisher kickouts, unless it's something like Cena Orton, or they have to because you've seen them do it like 80 times.
But you've seen them do it 80 times in the indies too. It's the same guys every week, so.
Well, okay, but most of those places aren't like televised. And if they are, it's like 1 hour a week, so you don't get everything.
Well, guys, I want to round this up by letting you guys give your final words to our listeners tonight. Do you have anything you want to say, just one at a time, and then we'll sign off? So, Chris, you got anything you want to say to our listeners?
Nope.
Nope.
Wow, I give you the power of the microphone and you come up with that. Paul, you got anything you want to say?
Do you want me to drop a pipe bomb? Just say it.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm real happy that Ryback is back. I'm a little upset he didn't win the title last night, but what are you gonna do? Kept me from killing myself today.
God damn it! You said exactly what I was gonna say. Damn it! Like minus the "I've stopped me from killing myself" thing. That was exactly what I was planning to say.
Yeah, you're the standout of my Miz. Suck it. There you go.
Wait, that means I'm. Wait, what?
That means he's more over than you.
Yeah, that means I'm more over and like better, just in general.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fine, but you see what I get to go home to. So
alright, you do win in the end.
I win at life.
Chris, go drop your pipe bomb, man, seeing as you said you're gonna. And the fact you call it a pipe bomb makes me, like, want to mute you mid-sentence, so go ahead.
Changing it to poop bomb.
That was so childish that it just killed me.
Nah, it worked though.
Yeah, that was
No,
a
that's
John
what I'm
Cena.
saying. It was so dumb and childish. That it worked.
Too bad I didn't have a John Cena voice, because that would have been perfect.
Okay, so this week I'm also writing a blog for levels. I'm also writing a blog this week, guys, for Levels of Wrestling. That will be going up Friday, I assume.
Most likely Friday, yeah.
Awesome, that'll be going up on Friday. not entirely sure what it's going to be about yet. I'm hoping to do something along the lines of Bray Wyatt and how we could swap his character, looking at...
So it's time for a potty break, then?
What an exciting pipe bomb!
Just keep talking, Chris.
Do I have to kick your ass?
Just keep talking, Jesus.
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, come on, you internet tough guy. Come on, do it. What are you gonna do? You gonna punch me through the phone? Come on.
I will wait till Mania 32. I will wait till your back is turned, and I will.
You have my word as host. If these guys play at WrestleMania 32,
I will.
you got anything you want to sign off with?
Oh god.
I am going to shank you at WrestleMania 32.
You at least warned him.
What are you gonna do? You gonna shake me over the phone, you son of a bitch?
Oh, he laughed so hard he died. Okay, guys. Big thank you to our listeners tonight. Please do not miss Showdown on Thursday. If you've got anyone in mind that you think would join our team for the night, I would love to hear your suggestions. This week's topic will be the crucifixion angle from the ECW.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, it's interesting. I really considered it. There's a lot of angles coming off it. Angle being angle, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We've also then, sorry, I'll reintroduce it seeing as Skeletor's back. Skeletor, this week's Showdown topic will be the Raven crucifixion angle from ECW.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I knew what that was.
Oh, man, you have to look it up, Chris. This will be a really good episode. We'll do a bit of history on it, too.
Yeah, definitely go read up on it, man.
Alright, I switched. My phone died, which is why I left. And then I came. And this picture of Paul pointing at me. I don't know what this is.
Don't worry, Skeletor, you've just missed the fact that I'm going to shank Rensis at Mania 32.
Can I get my final note that everyone knows?
Yeah, go for it, Skeletor.
Alright, so, see, I was in a very dark part of my life, and then I found the light through the gospel of Shark Boy, my Lord and Savior, Shark Boy, who has protected me from the darkness of this world and will usher me into the next.
Going up.
Oh, what?
Keep talking. Our viewer count kept going up when you mentioned Shark Boy. That's really
Shark Boy has created all of us by molding us out of chum in the bottom of the ocean, and then let us out to become the human race. And he allows us to live through the
What am I listening to?
Shark Heart.
Keep talking, Skeletor. It's fine.
See, I've accepted Shark Boy into my heart, so I know I will be saved from now into forever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you basically have a choice. You can either join the Church of Shark Boy, or you can join the Straight Edge Society.
Right, okay, I'm joining Shark Boy. Good man. Like I said, guys, feel free to Showdown on Thursday night, same time as usual. Obviously, we're willing to take a guest on the show this week, so if you have anyone in mind, let us know. And be sure to check up on your Raven crucifixion angle, but when you're checking that up, make sure it's not in school or someone's going to think you're a terrorist. So we've been Levels of Wrestling, and thank you for listening. Skeletor, do you want to do your usual cheesy sign-off before I click off?
Skeletor, say something stupid.
Yes.